Hey everybody, this is going to be my best books of 2024 video. I've already done the worst books of 2024, so yeah, this is going to be the best. Um, for those of you who don't know, I did include some 4 out of 5 star reads and some 5-star reads. Some of these are very surprising. I didn't think that they'd even make it on another video, but yeah. There are some 4 out of 5 stars that I put that I've done reviews for that I didn't include in this, and that's mainly because I felt like they didn't really deserve to be in a best of video. There's even one on here that Shadyside Library put as his least favorite, and it's one of my favorite books that I've read. And I know I'm on an island because everybody tells me that they don't like it, but I did want to kind of mention some of the other books that I didn't include, and I'll kind of explain a little bit more. Werewolf Skin, My Best Friend is Invisible. There's a book called You May Now Kill the Bride in the Fear Street, Return to Fear Street series. I didn't include those because even though I did give them a 4 out of 5 stars, I didn't feel like they were like an amazing 4 out of 5. I felt like they're closer to like a 3.5 out of 5, but I really don't do decimals when it comes to ratings. But yeah, for example, Werewolf Skin, it was a good book. I really did like it, but I didn't like it as much as I did as a kid. And the same could be said for My Best Friend is Visible. I did really enjoy that book, even though a lot of people don't like it. But I don't feel like it's deserving of a best book of 2024. If I didn't read as many as I did, then I'd say, um, yeah, it'd be up there. But my goal for this month was, or this year, was I think 57 books, and I read 70. So I read a lot, and I was really busy this year too. So yeah, so let's kind of jump right into it. Enough rambling. Yeah, and also another disclaimer: I don't remember a ton about every single book. I didn't look back at certain reviews. Certain ones I did that I just didn't remember anything about. And this is going to be just like the other video, where I'm just going to mention a few things and move on. Some I might not even remember at all, but yeah. Starting off with a 4-star read, we got Camp Out. Camp Out was amazing. It's basically these people going camping, and this one girl doesn't want to go, and there's people like trying to straight up kill them for really no reason. And she fights, and it's like a what do you call it when the girl from a horror movie survives? I can't think what it's called, but yeah. And she is awesome. This book is really really good, and this is in the Return or the New Fear Street series, and yeah, really awesome. In that same series, I should have put this towards the end because this is actually a 5-star read. I gave this a perfect 5-star. This was awesome. Basically, this girl is threatening to tell some of her friends that cheated on this test, and they go after her to kill her, and they do all kinds of stuff, but they all end up getting a very grisly fate. There's like hair pulling with the scalp being pulled out. This is really awesome. This is one of my favorite books ever in the Fear Street series. This was supposed to be based on a movie. I learned that from Goosebumps Completionist, so shout out to him. But yeah, this is one of the best books I've ever read. 5 stars. One of the more surprising turn of events, Night of the Squawker. I put this book off for years because I expected this to be just another chicken. This was awesome. Basically, this girl starts turning into a bird. We don't know why. The reveal was a little surprising. I mean, I kind of guessed what was going on. This reminded me of another book in the original series that not a lot of people like, but I like, and that's one of the reasons why I liked it. Night of the Squawker, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars also. Invasion of the Body Squeezers Part 2. I was very surprised at this. Mr. Fleshman was written very cool here. The aliens are actually kind of scary. The climax was absolutely bonkers. Part 1 was okay. Like, I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, I think. But this one was a lot better, in my opinion. And I do think that this deserves a best book of the year. Very cool book. I really enjoyed this one, too. A book that I did not like as a kid was Deep Trouble 1. It wasn't about sharks. It was about mermaids. And yeah, I might have spoiled that. I don't even think I mentioned mermaids in my review. But yeah. This isn't a scary book. I mean, there are some things that happen that are kind of scary. You get thrown overboard in this glass. I keep saying you like this is a give yourself. This is a regular Goosebumps book, but yeah, this is like one of my favorite Goosebumps books now. I give it a perfect 5 out of 5 stars. Also, I know nobody's gonna agree with me on that, but really enjoyed it. Don't Go to Sleep. This is a book that I read a couple months ago, around Mother's Day, I believe. And yeah, this is my mom's favorite Goosebumps book, and she actually still mentions this to this day. I love this. Basically, this kid sneaks into a room, goes to sleep, and he keeps waking up in different realities. He's a circus freak. He turns into a certain creature, an old man, and the one of the funnier scenes is he turns into an old man, and that's literally like one page because he cannot deal with it. Very awesome. Don't Go to Sleep. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars as well. Unicorns Don't Give Sleigh Rides. This is a Bailey School Kids book. I did not expect this to be on a best book of the year. I read this right at the tail end of 2024. This was my last book, I think. Yeah, that I've read. Very cool. I love the unicorn, the atmosphere surrounding the unicorn. I know this sounds ridiculous. This is not scary, or none of these books here are scary, but it was actually really sweet. And I started to give this a 3, but then I got to thinking about it, and it was really, really good. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. My first Graveyard School book, I think, that I've ever had in my best or worst of the year. This was good. There's a kid that doesn't like Christmas. It's basically a Christmas Carol, but there's a lot of like cool uh, floating mouths in lockers, different things like that. There's these creepy ghosts that come and visit him, and different things like that. This one was really awesome. I loved it. One of my favorites of the year. All right, now we're getting into some controversy. The Shady Side Library said that he didn't really like this book, and I think Spongy didn't like this one either that much. He said it gets really good after the third one, which I've only read 2 of the Spooksville series. I mentioned in my worst video that I read Remember Me by Christopher Pike. It made me not want to read anything by Christopher Pike until I picked up this one. This was good. Basically, this kid goes missing, and it's like a ghost that they said they seen, or a lighthouse picks him up or something. And yeah, there's like a lot of mystery surrounding it. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode, but very dark. There's like a kid that straight up goes missing. I mean, it's very good. I love this, and I think one of the biggest reasons why I like this, I didn't expect it to be good. I expected it to just be kind of a filler book. It was good. I know that a lot of people complained about the relationship between. I'm trying to think of what the kid's name is. I can't think of what their names are right now, but there's this new girl that comes in to play with the regular. I know Sally. I know one of them's Sally, I think, and she's Sally Wilcox, and yeah, I remember her because she's a very memorable character. And there's like this other girl that comes into play, and she likes this. I think his name's Adam. I think the guy's name is Adam. And yeah, they like kind of fight over him. And I know that's like some stuff that they didn't. It didn't bother me at all. I mean, it was just kind of there. I skimmed over it. But yeah, this is one of my favorite books. Very dark, very cool. I can't wait to read more Spooksville. The only reason I haven't read these is the next one is a very summertime book, and I read this at the end of summer. I really wanted to save it for summertime. But yeah. All right. Some very crazy opinions here. The Ghost of Devil's Marsh from the Shivers series. I never thought I'd have a Shivers book on my best books of the year. This was good. Yeah, really cool. There's this tombstone that gets knocked over, and this girl is basically cursed by these things. And I'm not going to say much more. This one's really cool. One of the best endings in all of Shivers so far. Yeah, easily one of the best. Another Shivers book, which is just as surprising as having another one, Your Mama's a Werewolf. I've had this book. I actually had this book a long time ago, and I lost it, and then I ended up buying another copy. The Horrorlander, or BD Horror, over on his channel, told me that this book is really good. He was not wrong. This is awesome. These kids go camping with one of the kids' moms, and she basically turns into a werewolf. And there's like this wolf scene at the very beginning of the book that you think is going to be a dream sequence. It's not. It's very awesome. Love it. All right, Zapped in Space. Now we're getting into some that I didn't remember a ton about. I just read this one too. Um, I remember I did a full review, so if you guys want to go check that out. Zapped in Space is about this arcade, virtual reality thing that these kids go play, and you either get transported to Snowy Wonderland, that's not very great, and then you get transported to the Alien uh race, which is like you have to go and save this alien planet from another alien planet. It's very funny because there's like these knowledge aliens that are like supposed to be like these rulers of the galaxy and different things like that, and they're like the smartest beings out there. It's really cool. I don't remember a ton about this, but I do remember it being really, really cool, and the alien being actually very scary. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for me. And the last couple of books are 4 out of 5s as well. Under the Magician's Spell from the Give Yourself Goosebumps series, I had to look up and see um, what this book was about because I didn't remember much about it, but I do remember really liking it. Um, yeah, basically, one of the kids' sisters steals this magic book, and it goes crazy. You go to all kind of places. I know there's like a warehouse with like I think like a robot dog or something that chases you. You get transported to like this crazy place that's it's really just I mean I can't even explain it, but yeah I don't remember much about this one, but I do remember it being crazy. Not my favorite Give Yourself Goosebumps book, but it's definitely deserving of the best of the year. And now we're getting into some that do deserve all of the praise, and I do remember a good bit about them, or most of it. Lights, Camera, Die from the Spine Tingler series. The next, yeah, the next books I have here, I gave perfect 5 out of 5 stars. Lights, Camera, Die is one of my favorite books in the Spine Tingler series. Very awesome. Basically, these kids go to this movie theater that's supposedly burned down, that everybody tells them about. They meet this guy named Mr. Faust, and they basically get inside this movie, and they have to track down these monsters and put them back in the movie that they have to like. It's like Frankenstein's monster. There's a wolf man, or there's multiple werewolves, I think. There's Dracula. There's all kinds of cool stuff. I think there's a mummy. I'm pretty sure, and they're written in a way that they're actually very scary. They're not just like there for just like the cameo or whatever. They're actually written in their own little way. That's really really cool. It's really really engaging. I give this perfect 5 out of 5. I had a lot of fun with this one. Another book that I read for Mother's Day in the Spine Tingler series was Step on a Crack. I love this one too. Spine Tinglers has definitely caught me off guard with some of the better books that I've read. Basically, there's this thing going around that can like communicate like with its mind. There's like this gory beginning. This thing has like an ancient background. Yeah, this was awesome. Very action packed. Very very cool. This book just felt like I don't know. It didn't even feel like it belonged in the Spine Tingler series. It felt like it belonged in its own series. I mean, it had such a good backstory. The only thing that I had to complain about this was the appearance of what this monster actually was. But other than that, this book was perfect. I absolutely loved it. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars as well. All right, we're going back to the Give Yourself Goosebumps series. This is Trapped in Batwing Hall. Um, Basically, you get to choose between joining these kids on this after school horror club thing, and you get to pick if you want to go on a scavenger hunt, or I don't even remember what the other part is. Scavenger hunt, or oh yeah, or you get turned into a bat somehow. And I like the bat scenes, even though it seems like I forgot about them already. I think I like that better than the actual scavenger hunt, which is crazy because the scavenger hunt was actually weird. You have to find like a werewolf's fur, um, a straw from a witch's broom. Um, I think there's like a bone or something you have to find, and you run into these monsters too. The bat stuff, you get turned into a bat and you like fly around and try to get yourself back together. It reminded me of like that part there. One of the reasons why I liked it so much, it reminded me of Why I'm Afraid of Bees, and one of my favorites from the original Goosebumps series. So yeah, Trapped in Batwing Hall, I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars as well. One of my favorites in the series. So yeah. All right. now we're getting into some original Goosebumps books. This is The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. Earlier this year, I decided to read all of the original Goosebump books again. I know that's insane. But I started this YouTube channel and I really wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do this my entire life, like do like YouTube book videos, because I very passionate about books and different things like that. And this was my very first Goosebumps book that I've ever read. I do have the reprint here, and the reason I have the reprint here is because I'm actually moving, and I have the original copy put up somewhere. Not quite sure where it's at. So yeah, you guys get to look at this one. Cuckoo Clock of Doom is awesome. It was just as good as I remembered it. There's a lot of stuff I didn't remember. Brought back so much nostalgia. I absolutely love this. Basically, these kids get a cuckoo clock, and there's a sister that's absolutely terrible, and the kid wants to get the other sister in trouble because she's always like around the cuckoo clock. He turns to head backwards on the cuckoo clock, and he starts going back in time. I remember when I first read this as a kid. It was like I almost kind of knew what was going on, but I wasn't 100% sure. And they even explain like some of the dates on the cuckoo clock. They explain that it has like this mythical time travel thing. I don't remember that as a kid. I don't remember any of the scenes. I think like where they're at school. I think there's some scenes at school. There's something that I mentioned in my review. I believe that I didn't remember as a kid. And yeah, very awesome book. Cuckoo Clock of Doom. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, just like I would as a kid. And finally, my favorite book of the year was indeed The Haunted School. This was an amazing book. This has always been an amazing book. I loved this as a kid. I remember me and a friend were growing up, and he had this book as a hardcover edition. And yeah, I went to his house, and he told me, "Hey, you need to read this." And I read my paperback copy, and yeah, I read it, finished it, and absolutely loved it. I fell in love with this book that many years ago. And I reread it as an adult, and it's just as engaging. I could honestly read this again, like right now, and not even bat an eye. Yeah. Haunted School is awesome. There's a scene where this kid goes into the school, and he sees the statues of these kids. There's like life-size statues, and it's so eerie and so weird that it actually got a little scary. I mean, this is a kid's book, I know, but that's actually really scary. Stein really never freaks me out or anything like that. I never get freaked out on books, but you know, there's something about that. I mean, I didn't have nightmares or anything like that, but yeah. Fun fact: the only book that's ever given me nightmares was a book There's a book called Gooflumps. There's a book series, and it's like 2 books. There's a book called Eat, Cheese, and Barf. I know this is off topic. But yeah, that book actually gave me nightmares. And it's not a scary book at all. Yeah. And there's a cheerleaders book in the Fear Street series that's giving me nightmares. But other than that, no. And both of these were adult nightmares, not any of this. Anyway, The Haunted School, I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Basically, this kid goes to a new school. And that's all I'm really going to say. I think you should go in this as not knowing anything is possible, because this book is awesome. Very creative, very scary, like I said. And that's it. That's my best books that I've read in 2024. Again, I didn't mention everything that I put for 4 out of 5 star ratings, and that's because I didn't feel like some of these didn't deserve. I actually readjusted this one, and I didn't want to do just the ones with 5 stars, because I only had like, what was it, like 3 that was 5 stars. And I read a lot of really good books, and I think that they deserve some recognition, some attention that you know, is out there. And yeah, I think that people should actually go out and read these. So yeah. Yeah, please let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite book that you've read this year? What's your least favorite? I think that's it for me, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.